Hello everybody, my name is Sirhcus and welcome back to another episode of the Sirhcus, my single player Let's Play series. We are back in our logging town today, our logging town of LaQuinn, right? Yes, LaQuinn. So we're gonna get some work done today, finally. We've been away from this place for a little while, but now we should be ready to get to business. Our next holiday town isn't for another couple of weeks, or not weeks, months. We got a couple of months before the next holiday, Independence Day, and we have our zombie farm all built up, which means we have lots of nice tools to use while we're out here, which should make the whole thing go a lot more smoothly. So today the goal is to get a lot of these buildings built, like the main structure of them, or at least framed in. At least get like these logs in place and kind of see what this place is gonna look like with the actual houses, with the actual buildings. And before I start recording, I did kind of lock down a design, lock down a block palette. So we've had this here before, but I have made some changes. The roof I was playing around with and trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and eventually decided to go back to what I had originally, what I had done in my creative world. So it's a very simple roof, just stairs all the way up on the end, but it's got a sag in the middle, and that's going to be something that might be a little tricky on all of these buildings, adding that sag, because it's going to be kind of different from house to house, from building to building. But I definitely don't want the roof to just go straight across. It needs something to add a little bit of interest, and I think this is I like the way that this looks. I like the way that it kind of is just I don't know, plopped down on that house, sort of resting on that house. I think it looks pretty good. Another thing that I did was I switched out, all of these logs were spruce logs, and I figured that would make sense since we have tons of spruce logs around here, and from chopping down this forest, I have a lot on hand. But I realized that the dark oak looks so much better here, and there is, there's one main reason for that. Let's put some of this dirt away. Just throw some of that in there. Let's grab some dark oak and some spruce. So dark oak and spruce, they're very similar. They're both very dark logs, and sometimes you can kind of interchange them, like not necessarily use both of them in the same build, but if you're looking for a dark log, both of these are very good, obviously very good choices. The main difference is that the spruce wood is a little bit redder, it's a little bit more saturated, whereas the dark oak is less saturated, a little bit more gray. And the main thing to note with the spruce wood is that the sides of the spruce log go very well with dark oak, which is good if you want to use those together, if you want to have some sort of structure that goes from dark oak logs or spruce logs to like a stair slab. You kind of have a little bit more detail. You can put a little bit more detail into it, I suppose. And it still matches up pretty well. And then the end of the log is the same color as the spruce, and goes really well with that. For this build, that's why I decided not to use the spruce, because I didn't want these logs to match up with the roof here, and I didn't want the ends of the logs that we see here to match up with the sides of this house, with the walls there and all these other spots. I wanted the logs to kind of stand out a little bit. Also, we're gonna put our own trees here eventually, and we have all these trees around here in the forest. And I wanted the logs in the house to stand out a little bit from the surrounding trees, from the surrounding forest. And so switching to dark oak just makes that possible, and I think makes it look a lot better. So we have our first house, we have our design kind of nailed down, but before I can get to work on building the rest of these houses, starting on those, I need to raise up this land because we are going to have a river coming through here. It's going to go at least to, there's a big lake on the other side of that hill. I think I still want it to go all the way to the ocean, which I was looking at, and I think there might be an easier way than what I had marked out before when we were talking about this big river. I think there's an easier way to connect it to the ocean that might be a little bit better. But I still want to have that river through here, and I want to raise up this land so that that river isn't quite so low, and we don't have to run the river flat all the way over there. If we start out higher, we'll have a little bit more room to play with the river. So that's why I got all this dirt. Also, ooh, ender chest. I finally made one so that I can carry stuff around a little bit better. So yeah, we got all that dirt, and I'm gonna start placing it down here, raising up the land, maybe marking out the river a little bit more, getting that shaped somewhat. We don't need to do a lot with it, but I need to figure out how wide it's gonna be at least so that I know I can make sure that these houses aren't too close. That took a lot of dirt. All my dirt, in fact. All the dirt that I had stored up. I think it was at least, or it was more than 2 double chests. Maybe like 2.5 chests of dirt that I put here on our valley floor. I still need to put some more here. I want to raise this part up and kind of blend it in with the hill some more so that we can have the river really flowing downward here at the beginning. And then it'll kind of calm down. It'll go a little bit more shallow all the way down that way and then over to that lake. But like I said, I used all my dirt. I don't have any. I might have like 1 stack here or there, but as far as I could tell, I don't have much left. And I suppose I could have saved some dirt by making the ground, hollow, not filling it up solid, but I can't live like that. I don't know how people do that, leaving hollow areas everywhere. Ugh, it bugs me so much. One thing with dirt, like there's dirt everywhere in the world, except for deserts and oceans. There's dirt everywhere. And I'm not the type of person I don't like the idea of going somewhere random and just digging a hole to get dirt. Because I don't like, just like I don't like hollow areas underneath the ground, I don't like the idea that there's some place that I defaced, I suppose, in order to get a resource. I don't like the idea of that. Usually my dirt comes from either digging out dirt patches underground, like if I'm really desperate for dirt, or in our underground series, I had to do that. I would go through like my mine shafts and dig out the dirt patches and get my dirt that way. Or I get it from excavation projects. If I do any sort of terraforming and end up with extra dirt, that's where I get my dirt. And in fact, we do have this river that I need to dig out all the way over there, and I should get quite a bit of dirt from that. So that should give us the stuff that we need. I'm not going to work on that right now, though. Right now, we are going to get started on these buildings, on these houses. And while we get started, I wanted to talk about, kind of follow up with last episode. Last episode, we did a little talkie episode where I was just talking about where I was with this channel, how I had been going through kind of a slump, and I was trying to get back on the horse. And you guys are amazing. You all are really awesome. You left a lot of very nice comments saying that I'm one of your favorite YouTubers, putting me up there on your list with Etho, which is like I still don't. I get that every once in a while, and I just don't understand. I'm so thankful that you guys enjoy my content. And I know I mean, I always get comments saying that I deserve more subs, and I would definitely like more subs. I don't know if I could really say I deserve them, but I'm glad that you guys are enjoying my content and think that it is at least somewhat quality content, good enough for you to subscribe to and watch every day, or however often you watch. So that was pretty awesome. I also got a lot of suggestions for new series and stuff, different games you'd like to see me play, and some suggestions for just how to get motivated. Like someone said, one of the best ways to motivate yourself and make interesting content is to play with other people, and that is definitely the case. And it's been a long time since I've really had a good multiplayer series, especially just being on a server. And I definitely know that being on a server is one of the most motivating things and most inspiring things that I do. That's on servers. Playing with other people is where I've learned a lot of stuff about Minecraft and about making content. And so I have something up in the air involving that hopefully we will see in maybe a couple weeks. That should be pretty fun. And then I do have another series that I might be starting soon, and that might be starting very soon, maybe even like within the next couple of days. I'm not entirely sure if I'll get around to that right away, but I have some stuff in the works, some other series, because like I said, I love theSirhcus, and I'm really getting back into it. I'm getting more motivated to come on here and play again after our little break. I'm excited to get back here and get to work, but it's nice to have another series that I can kind of go back and forth between, so I'm not always working on one thing. It's nice to have another series so that I can take a break from each of them as I work on the other one and sort of refresh and come up with new ideas. That's always nice to have. I'm wondering if this is gonna be too tall. I'm not sure if I like. No, I don't like that. In fact, we need to bring this down one more block. It's kind of difficult here with the hillside, but I think we're just gonna have to have this side be really low, and then the other side will be slightly high, and that should work. That should work out pretty nicely. And also, as far as this series goes, I'm always trying to improve my content. And so you might see a few small changes here or there. There's not going to be any real big changes in video style or editing or anything, but I might try a few more things here and there. In fact, today, I think we're going to do a time lapse working on here, which, I mean, I've done these in the past, and we did do one. We have done a couple here on this series. I think a couple, haven't we? Yeah, I think we've done 2 of them so far. And that might be something I mix in here and there. In fact, I can't wait until we get to 1.12, and hopefully the replay mod gets updated quickly. And we might be able to utilize that to make some pretty interesting time lapses and just get a little bit more interesting footage in our episodes. I've also been trying to watch some more Minecraft players. I've been watching a few more of the Hermits on the Hermitcraft server, and some people elsewhere, to try and gain some ideas and some inspiration. It's never really good to just outright copy people, but there's nothing wrong with taking some ideas here and there, and like I said, getting some inspiration on things to do with our videos here. But anyways, I think I'm gonna keep building, and we're going to slip into a time lapse.
Inside all of us, animals waiting to deceive. Outside the trees come down.
And there we have it. Our town is starting to take shape. We have a lot of houses built. Obviously, they are not done at all. I still have lots of roofs to make and lots of details to put into them. But as I said in the beginning of the episode, I just wanted to get like the main structures built so we can start to see how this town is going to lay out and what we have going on here. There are a few that I haven't started. There's this big one in the back, because that one's going to be kind of a special house, so I might spend a little bit more time on that one. As well as there's a structure over there that's actually going to be, I'm not exactly sure what to call it. It's going to be kind of the main building for our tree farm. It'll be kind of main headquarters for that. I don't know what it would be exactly. Maybe a sawmill in here. Or maybe just a workhouse or something. I'm not entirely sure. But that's going to be like the main building for that. And then we have the church up on the hill. Again, kind of a specialty building. And then this one, I could probably put this in place and just make it a little bit taller. Start it a couple of blocks higher. But I want to raise up the land here. And so this one might... I'm not exactly sure how tall that one's going to be. But this is looking pretty neat. One thing you might notice while looking over this town is that a lot of these buildings look very similar, pretty much the same. There's a lot of the same patterns, a lot of the same shapes. There are some different sizes of buildings, but for the most part, there's a lot of similarities in these. And the reason for that is that I want to get this town up as quickly as possible. I don't want to spend too much time here fussing over every little building, and that's kind of how we've been doing a lot of our towns so far. You know, with Ytterby and Yester, our first town, a lot of those houses are very similar as well. I think here you can tell even more just because there isn't a lot done to these houses yet. And that's one thing, is like the basic structure is going to be very similar throughout this whole thing. It makes it easier to throw these buildings up. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to get this much done in one episode. But when we start going in and adding details, that's what's going to really set these things apart. When we start adding doors, adding windows, adding the balconies. You know, I think we're gonna do a lot of like balconies on these buildings, and we'll kind of tailor those to each building, and that'll be a little bit different. We might add dormer windows, although I'm not sure how well that's gonna work with this saggy style roof. But maybe I can get something worked out on some of these. Maybe just some of the bigger ones. We do some dormers in the roof. And so as we work on this, the houses are gonna start to look less similar. Even when we do that, they still will look very, very much the same, and that's all right. I think that is fine. I mean, the point of these towns is, you know, to have kind of a consistent style, a consistent theme, and so we're gonna have lots of houses that match together. And in the future, when we work on, when we get a little bit more established, and when we work on somewhat bigger towns and more specialized towns, we might spend more time on the individual buildings, or at least more of the individual buildings, and make some more I guess individualistic houses, make some more detailed buildings that kind of stand out a little bit better. But as for now, this is what we got going on, so that we can get our job done here. But anyways, that I think is going to be it for today. Hope you guys have enjoyed another episode of The Sirhcus, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, peoples.